Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Explain Maths. Today I am going to start with a new chapter and the name of the chapter is Exponents and Powers. This chapter is from grade 8 NCERT textbook, chapter number 10. So first we will see why we have to study about exponents. Okay, so we know that mass of earth is this much kg, distance between sun and Saturn is this much meter, distance between Saturn and Uranus is this much meter. Now if you see, these numbers are very large number and it is very difficult to read, understand and compare. To make these numbers easy to read, understand and compare, we use exponents. So slowly we will see how to read and write these numbers in a short form, okay, in a shorter way, such that we can easily able to read it and we can able to compare it also. Next we will see what is exponents. So here I am adding 2 8 times and I am getting my sum as 16. Now we also know that repeated addition is multiplication. So same thing I can write it as 8 times 2, isn't it? You have seen when you have to find the perimeter of a square, right? When you are finding the perimeter of a square, we know that in a square all the 4 sides are same measure, isn't it? So if you know that each side measure is 4 centimeter, you are having a formula for the perimeter which is 4 times side. So instead of writing side plus side plus side plus side 4 times, you can do it in a shorter way, which is 4 times side, and you will get your perimeter. Same way, repeated addition is also known as multiplication. Now here I am multiplying 2 by itself several times, isn't it? So here I have taken one example where I have multiplied 2 7 times. So in a shorter way, I can write it as 2 to the power 7. Okay. So like repeated addition is multiplication, same way repeated multiplication is known as exponents. Okay. This is the shorter way of representing. So when you are multiplying 2 7 times, so you can write it in a shorter way as 2 to the power 7. And exponents helps us in writing larger numbers in shorter form. So in 2 to the power 7, 2 is the base and 7 is the exponent. It is read as 2 raised to the power 7 or 7th power of 2. Now we have already studied laws of exponents in grade 7, right? So let's see each law one by one. So first is product law. In product law, you are multiplying two exponents having the same base but different power. So in that case, the power will get added and the base will remain same. So let's take one example. So if you have to multiply 2 cube with 2 square. So here you can see that in both the exponent 2 is same, right? So power we have to add it. Base will remain the same. It will be 2 to the power 3 plus 2, which will give you 2 to the power 5. Now next law is division law. So here you are dividing two exponents having the same base but power is different. So for quotient law there are two conditions. If m is greater than n, means the power of the numerator is greater than the power of the denominator. So in that case, let's take an example. So if it is 3 to the power 7 divided by 3 square. So you can see here that 7 is greater than 2. So in such a case, we have to keep the base same as 3 and power will get subtracted, which is 7 minus 2, and you will get 3 to the power 5. Now this is the first case. Now if in the second case, m is smaller than n, means the power of the numerator is smaller than n. So let's take an example for that case also. Suppose 2 to the power 4 divided by 2 to the power 6. And here the power in the numerator is 4, which is smaller than the power in the denominator. So in such a case, we have to write 1 by 2 to the power 6 minus 4, and it will be 1 by 2 square. Okay, let's move to the next law. This is power law. Okay, here a to the power m whole n, power to the power. So in such a case, base will remain the same and power will get multiplied. So let's take one example. If it is 5 square whole cube, so it will be 5 to the power 2 into 3, which will give me 5 to the power 6. Next law. Now a to the power n multiplied by b to the power n. Now here base is different but power is same. So in such a case you have to multiply the base by keeping the power same. So let's take an example. If suppose if it is 2 cube multiply by 3 cube. So power is same, 3 and 3 both the cases. So in such a case, multiply the base 2 into 3 and keep the power as it is. So it will give you 6 to the power 3. Next, same thing, if base is different but power is same and you are dividing, so you can write it as a by b whole n. So if it is 3 cube by 5 cube, so you can write it as 3 by 5 whole cube. And this one is a very important law. Any non-zero rational number to the power 0 is equal to 1. So if you are writing 7 to the power 0, this value is also equal to 1. If you are taking 2 by 3 to the power 0, this value is also equal to 1. You have to just take care the a should not be a 0. A should always be a non-zero rational number. Okay. So now we will see powers with negative exponent. So for that I have taken one example. So 3 cube I can write as 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. And if I multiply it, I am going to get my answer as 27. Now next 3 square is 3 into 3, which will give my value as 9. Now if I am going to make a relation from the previous answer, so I can see the previous answer which I got as 27. If I divide this by 3, I am going to get my answer as 9. Now same way 3 to the power 1 is 3. So again I am going to take my previous value, which is 9, and 9 divided by 3 will give me 3. Now further if I will move, 3 to the power 0 is 1. So again I am taking my value from the previous step, which is 3, and 3 divided by 3 will give me the value as 1. So now I am proceeding here in descending order, 3, 2, 1, 0. Power is reducing, right? Now if I further reduce the power, it will be 3 to the power negative 1. And again if I am going to write it like my previous step, so the previous answer was 1 and 1 divided by 3. So 3 to the power negative 1 is 1 divided by 3. Now same way if I'll move further, so again I will take the answer from the previous step, which is 1 by 3, and this I am going to divide it by 3. And if I divide it, so division I am going to change as multiplication. So it will become 1 by 3, and which will further give me 1 by 3 square, isn't it? So from here what I can say, that if you are finding out the power of a negative integer, isn't it? If you are finding out the power of a negative integer, then it is becoming the reciprocal. Can you see here, a to the power minus m is same as 1 by a to the power m, isn't it? So if it is a negative sign, you have to write the reciprocal of it, where m is a positive integer. And we can say that a to the power minus m is the multiplicative inverse of a to the power m. Now, what is the meaning of multiplicative inverse? We have another name also for the multiplicative inverse, which we call it as reciprocal, isn't it? So, reciprocal of a to the power minus m is a to the power m. So, now we will do some try these questions from the textbook. So, this is the try these question. The question says find the multiplicative inverse of the following. So, from here I can write the multiplicative inverse of 2 to the power minus 4. Now this I can write it as 1 by 2 to the power 4. And what is the reciprocal of 1 by 2 to the power 4? The answer will be 2 to the power 4. Okay, so multiplicative inverse means reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 2 to the power minus 4 is 2 to the power 4. Now same way, if you have to find the multiplicative inverse of 10 to the power minus 5, this also you can write it as 1 by 10 to the power 5, and reciprocal of this will be 10 to the power 5. Third one, 7 to the power minus 2. So from here now we can say directly the reciprocal of 7 to the power minus 2 is 7 square. Now the reciprocal of 5 to the power minus 3 will be 5 cube. And 10 to the power minus 100, the reciprocal will be 10 to the power 100. So these are the very easy questions which was given in the try these. Now let's move to the other question. Now I'm going to try these questions. So the question says that simplify and write in exponential form. So in the first question, if you see, base is same, isn't it? Base is -2 and it is multiplied. So we are going to use the product law. So the product law tells that if base is same and power is different, you have to keep the base same and add the powers. So I'm going to add -3 plus -4, and if I'm going to add it, I will get -2 whole -7. And you have to mention the law also. So in exam also you have to mention which law you are using, otherwise you may lose marks. Now next is p to the power 3 multiplied by p to the power -10. So again here if you see the base is same, your base is p. So you can write it as p to the power 3 plus -10, and 3 plus -10 will give you p to the power -7. So again you have to mention the law. Now moving to the third question. So here also if you see base is same and they all are multiplied. So again you have to add the powers. It is 2 plus -5 plus 6. And 2 plus -5 will give you -3. And -3 plus 6, you will get the answer as 3 cubed. And again you have to mention the laws. Now this question I have taken from the example sums. Okay, so the question is find m so that -3 whole m plus 1 multiplied by -3 whole 5 is equal to -3 whole 7. So in such a question, what we have to do, we have to see the left hand side. So in the left hand, you can see the base is same and it is multiplied. So you have to use the product law. So if you are using the product law, what you have to do, you have to keep the base same and you have to add the power. So if I'm adding it, I am getting like this: -3 whole m plus 1 plus 5 equal to -3 whole 7. Now further we can write as -3 whole m plus 6 equal to -3 whole 7. Okay, and then you can see here base is same on both the sides, isn't it? Both LHS and RHS is having the same base. So exponent also should be equal. So from here I can write m plus 6 will be equal to 7. And then you have to solve and get the value of m. So m is 7 minus 6, which will give you the value as 1. So your value for m is 1. Now exercise 10.1 question number 1. Evaluate. So the first question is 3 to the power -2. So 3 to the power -2, just now we have studied power with negative exponent. So this can be written as 1 by 3 square. And as the question says evaluate, means you have to give the value. So 3 square is 9. And you have to mention here what law you have used. So a to the power minus m equal to 1 by a to the power m. This you have to mention. Now second question, again you can see it has a negative exponent. So you can write it as 1 by -4 whole square. And you have already studied in integers. If the power is even time for a negative number, so the product will be positive. So it will be 4 square is 16. So this is your answer. And again you have to write the same law which I have written on the top, which is a to the power -m equal to a to the 1 by a to the power m. Now the third question is 1 by 2 whole -5. So again it has a negative power. So I will write the reciprocal of 1 by 2, which will be 2. So it will be 2 to the power 5, and 2 to the power 5 is 32. So this was the first question. So question number 2, simplify and express the result in power notation with positive exponent. So my first question is -4 whole to the power 5 divided by -4 whole to the power 8. So here I am going to use the division law because base is same, power is different, and it is division, right? But if you see, the power in the numerator is smaller than the power in the denominator, isn't it? So I have to write it as 1 by -4 whole 8 minus 5. So what is 8 minus 5? I'll get my answer as 1 by -4 whole cube. Now moving to the next question, 1 by 2 cube whole square. So here the law which I am going to use is a by b whole n equal to a to the power n divided by b to the power n. So here I can write it as 1 square divided by 2 cube whole square. And 1 square I know it is 1 only. And 2 cube whole square I am going to use the power law. So it will be 1 by 2 to the power 3 into 2, and it will give me the answer as 1 by 2 to the power 6. So here one more law I have used, which is a to the power m whole n is equal to a to the power mn. Now next question, negative 3 whole 4 multiply by 5 by 3 whole 4. Now negative 3, if you multiply 4 times, negative power is coming 4 times. So your product will be positive. So I can rewrite it as 3 to the power 4 into 5 to the power 4 divided by 3 to the power 4. Isn't it? Just now in the above question I have used that law, a by b whole n equal to a to the power n divided by b to the power n. Same law I'm going to use it here also. Now you see in the numerator and denominator base is same, so I'm going to subtract the power. So 3 to the power 4 minus 4 multiply by 5 to the power 4. And 3 to the power 4 minus 4 is 3 to the power 0 into 5 to the power 4. 3 to the power 0 is 1. So 1 into 5 to the power 4, your final answer is going to be 5 to the power 4. Okay, now moving to the next question. Now in this question you have division also, you have multiplication also. So first we will do the work which is inside the bracket, right? We will first do the work of bracket, BODMAS rule, and inside the bracket if you see there is a division, isn't it? So we are going to use the division law. So it will be 3 to the power minus 7 minus of minus 10, because in division we have to subtract the power, and here you see the numerator is having power minus 7, denominator is having power minus 10, so minus 7 is greater than minus 10, isn't it? So next we can write 3 to the power minus 7 plus 10 into 3 to the power minus 5, and it will be 3 to the power 3 into 3 to the power minus 5. Next we will use product law. So this will give my answer as 3 to the power 3 plus minus 5. And 3 plus minus 5 means 3 to the power minus 2. And as the question says you have to give answer in positive exponent, so you have to write as 1 by 3 square. And the law which I have used here is a to the power minus m equal to 1 by a to the power m. Now last question, 2 to the power minus 3 into minus 7 whole minus 3, isn't it? Now here if you see the power is same but base is different, so I'm going to use this law. So according to this law we have to multiply the base and have to keep the power same. So 2 into minus 7 and whole power will be minus 3. 2 into minus 7 is negative 14 to the power minus 3. Now I have to give answer in positive form. So I have to write as 1 by negative 4 whole cube. And the law which I have used here is a to the power minus m equal to 1 by a to the power m. So whenever you solve these type of question, it is important to write the laws. Okay, because if you will not write the laws, your teacher will deduct the marks, because there are many ways to solve the same question, isn't it? So your teacher should know that which law you have used to solve the question. So that's all for today's class. If you like my content, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.